Hello and welcome to Two Dudes and a Mic with me, Todd Brown, and none other my co-host, Henry Hank Sanders. Man, we look forward to getting with you all. As you know, it is the most wonderful time of the
Oh,
year.
yeah. Yes, it is.
It is football season. And one thing that we love to do here on Two Dudes and a Mic is we love to do college pick 'em. We love to do NFL pick 'em. And this year we're even adding high school pick 'em. Now, this is our first
Yes.
episode, of course, with you all. And so we've already gotten into the high school. We've done 2 weeks of high school, but we wanted to start off live for you all this weekend with college football, as it is a full slate of college football. And we're looking forward to see which one of us can pick better. Now, last year, your boy, Mr. Nostradamus himself,
Not Mr. Notre Dame. Come on.
was the winner. And boy, did I enjoy all of my winnings. And I'm looking forward to enjoying my winnings again this year as we started off in week 0, and I'm already up on my friend Henry. Hank,
Yeah, it's wonderful.
how you feel going into week 1
Oh,
behind?
I feel confident. I feel confident. It's only one game. I'm good. It's not 20 or 30 like it was the end of last year.
Oh, don't worry. By the end of this week, we'll probably add another 10 to that one. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into, of course, these picks. We have a lot of picks from Thursday all the way through Monday. Like I said, there is a full slate of college
Full
football.
slate.
If you are a college football fan, you have been waiting for this. It is going to be a brisket, barbecue, hot dogs, hamburger, nachos, queso kind of weekend, and
Yes, it
pizza, if
is.
I can get a witness. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Here we go. Starting off with the Thursday slate, which is tomorrow, and the hurricane ain't stopping none of this. All right.
No,
So
it's not.
as we look at this, first starting off, we have Kent State out of Ohio traveling down to the space capital of the world, the University of Central Florida. And the Golden Knights taking on, of course, Kent State. Who you got, Henry, in this one?
Let's see here. I'm gonna go with Kent State. Give me Kent State. Upset pick right out the gate. Kent State.
I'm sorry. Something happened to my audio, y'all. Did you just say Kent State?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for. I'm throwing caution in the wind this year, right out the gate.
Well,
Kent State for the upset.
ladies and gentlemen, you can tell by me
Out the
laughing.
gate.
You can tell by me laughing that I ain't picking no dog on Kent State. Give me the Golden Knights. So let's go.
Come
Golden
on.
Knights beating Kent State. That's my pick for this week. Then next, we're going to travel up the road from Florida to North Carolina. And we're going to stop in Wake Forest, where Wake Forest is going to take on Elon College. Now, of course, we know what this is called. This is called a money game. So
Money.
my money is on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons to put a whole prayer service on Elon.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And of course, you're going to win on that one. Let's go.
All right, no caution to the wind. So with that being said, now from North Carolina, we're going to travel all the way back down to Georgia. And in Georgia, we
Yeah.
got Georgia State taking on Rhode Island. Now, in years past, this might have been a really good game. Some would say, hey, a nice matchup. But over the years, Rhode Island has been a weak team, formerly from the Atlantic 10. For those of you who are a little bit older,
Exactly.
those of you who were born in the 70s and the 80s know about the Atlantic 10 football. It was pretty decent. Some of y'all younger folk that was born in the 90s and 2000s, you have no idea what we're talking about right now, but it's okay.
No idea.
Anyway, even with that, since the Atlantic 10 disbanded, Rhode Island hasn't been any good. So since that, I'm not counting on Rhode Island to win this game. I'm picking Georgia State.
Yeah, I'm with you on Georgia State, man.
All right, so moving there from Georgia, we're gonna go all the way up to the Midwest, and we're gonna find ourselves in Michigan. Not on Lake Michigan with Big Blue, but we are in Michigan with Western Michigan, and Western Michigan is taking on St. Francis, PA. This is another money game, and guess what? St. Francis is not gonna hit the jackpot. Give me Western Michigan to win this
Western Michigan.
one.
I
Next,
ain't no.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, is actually going to be what I think is a pick 'em game. It's a toss up game. It's a flip of the coin type game. We have North Carolina State taking on UConn. Henry, what are your feelings on this game?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm going with the ACC in this one. North Carolina State, man.
You know
I'm
what? I must say, when we compare a wolf pack against Huskies, I got to go with a pack chomping on some Huskies all day long.
yeah,
Give me
man.
the wolf pack of
All
NC
day.
State. There you go. Give me the wolf pack of NC State beating UConn. Now, going again, staying in the Midwest, we have Missouri, the Missouri Tigers of the SEC, taking on
Yes.
South Dakota. South Dakota might be a good FCS team, but when FCS tries to come up with the big boys of the
Uh-uh.
FBS, it usually does not end well. And this one
It's
ain't
not
going
even well.
well either. Give me the Tigers over South Dakota.
Yes, Tigers all the way. Come on.
All right, next we have a really good game right here. Matt Rule taking over Nebraska and taking on PJ Fleck and the Minnesota Gophers. Many would say this could be a pick'em game because many people believe in Matt Rule. But the last time I saw Matt Rule, he was losing a whole lot of games as he wasn't pounding nobody but getting pounded in Carolina, and he's going to get pounded as a Cornhusker because Minnesota Gophers are going to be shucking the corn of the Cornhuskers. Give me Minnesota over
Give,
Nebraska. Let's go.
hey, I'm with you on that. Everything I believe you say is true on that one. Give me Minnesota.
All right. Now, the next game is a HBCU team that's moved into the Coastal Atlantic Conference, none other
Come on.
than North Carolina A&T. And North Carolina A&T, who is a Jordan Brand school, is going to take on the University of Alabama Birmingham. And University of Alabama Birmingham at one point lost their football program and has now had a resurgence of their football program. But in this game, I'm not going with the resurgent program. I'm going to pick the historically Black college and university known as North Carolina A&T. Give me them Aggies over them Blazers. Let's go.
Aggies. I got to go Aggies. Everything. Yes. Got to go. That's a requirement.
Now, wait a minute. You said that's a requirement. Why are you saying that's a requirement?
Got to, man. You know why it's a requirement. Come on. Yeah.
Also, you know what?
That's all I'm going to say.
I had to admit, I like A&T's colors. There's something about that gold and blue. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So next we have a primetime game. And actually it's a rematch from last year. We have the Florida Dead Gators taking on the Utah Utes. And listen, everybody that knows me knows that I'm a diehard Noles fan.
You're right.
If you know anything about me being a diehard Noles fan, you know that I'm not giving any props to no Gators. So you might as well book me with Utah.
And guess what? I'm going with the Gators. Yes, sir. You're going head to head on that one, Brown. Head to head.
All of y'all who's watching, now you understand why I'm always winning.
Okay, we'll see.
Somebody give me my theme music of DJ Khaled. All I do is win, no matter what, because Henry can't pick no games from his butt.
We'll see. We'll see. I told you last year, I believe this is going to be my year. Yeah,
and they stay there, and they stay there. But anyway, here we go. Here we move on to the next game. Next, we have Arkansas Pine Bluff taking on Tulsa. This is a real easy pick. Again,
yeah, it's an easy pick.
And the jackpot is going to Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa.
Okay, you don't sound too excited about that game. So we're going to go
it's one of them games like I'm not going to watch, you know.
So we're going to go to another FCS taking on FBS school in Southern Utah taking on Arizona State. Arizona State with their new coach, former offensive coordinator over at Oregon, has now taken the head coaching job at Arizona State. He was also the former OC at Florida State before Florida State started making its resurgence. So you already know about Arizona State. I don't think they're that great. I know the OC. He ain't that great. And I don't think he's gonna make a good head coach, but I think he's gonna have a good enough team to beat Southern Utah. So give me the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Arizona State.
All right, so look, that's the Thursday slate right there. Moving on to Friday and keeping this
Friday Night Lights.
Next we have on Friday night, 6:30 p.m. over in Eastern Michigan, none other than a school that I am proud alumni of, who other
Oh, come
individuals,
on.
who other individuals like Chadwick Boseman went to, Felicia
Yeah.
Rashad went to,
But they
Diddy
don't play football. Come
went
on.
to. None of them play football. That's right. But we are proud alumni. We bring some of the greatest minds into this world. None other than the Howard University, known
The Howard.
as the Mecca of HBCUs, is taking on
Lord, Lord.
and
What you gonna do, Brown?
as much as I love my Bison, and as much as a proud alumni that I am, I know what this is. It is a money game. And
Yes, it is.
we're gonna take the check and we're gonna take this L. I'm picking Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan. I'm with you. Eastern Michigan. That's a money game, my man.
All right. Now, next we have the battles of Miami's. Miami, Florida, and Miami of Ohio. In the
Right.
battle of Miami, Miami of Ohio, and Miami, Florida. Again, I am a Knowles fan. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Miami of Ohio to beat the Hurricanes of Miami. Let's go.
I know you loyal, man, but come on, man. Are you really gonna think the other Miami in
I just
Ohio?
did.
Yeah. Okay, your pick is locked in. Let's go.
I'm gonna give you
I'm
one.
not even gonna
I'm gonna give
comment,
you one
bro.
because you need it anyway.
I'm about to say thank you for the win. Thank you for the win. Thank you for that one. I might need it.
You're gonna need it. I gave you one, but you're gonna need
Appreciate
it
it.
after this week.
That's what friends are
After that
for.
first pick that you done already made, talking about some Kent State.
Caution in the
So
wind, bro.
next we have a battle of Michigan. We have Central Michigan taking on Sparty of Michigan State. Give me Michigan State over Central Michigan.
Oh yeah, same here, man.
All right, cool. Now we traveling to the ACC, a battle of teams that have gone through a lot of changes over the offseason. Both teams are trying to establish themselves in the ACC, one being the Louisville Cardinals, the other one being the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. And I'm going to go with the home team because, again, this is a toss-up 50-50, flip of the coin type game between the Cardinals and the Yellow Jackets. And so since Georgia Tech is the home team, give me the home team, Georgia Tech. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm going with Georgia Tech. That's the only reason. The home field advantage. That's it.
Okay, cool. Next, we're moving on, and we have Missouri State. This is another money game. FCS against FBS. Missouri State taking on the Blue Blood basketball school of Kansas, but this is football. And Kansas football has been up and coming, and it's going to be a blowout game. Give me them Jayhawks.
Yeah, Jayhawks all day on that one, man. It might look like a basketball game, but this thing is over with.
I heard that. And then lastly, to end the Friday night slate, we have the Stanford Cardinals that's trying to get out of the Pac-12 and make their way into the ACC.
To the ACC.
They are auditioning right now to really see what their sports look like. And their first opponent is the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, who came off a close loss to Vanderbilt Commanders. And I'm going to pick Stanford to go into Hawaii and say aloha to the Rainbows and find the lucky charms at the end of the rainbow that is a win. Give me Stanford.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Stanford, and we're going to leave it like that. It's Stanford. Shout out to everybody going on in Hawaii, though.
All right, yeah, definitely prayers and everything going on to out all those in Hawaii. And listen, if you haven't, just a little PSA, go ahead and donate some money to Red Cross so that they can continue, of course, with those relief efforts. $10 makes a difference. So go ahead and give that $10 to make a difference in helping those who are trying to survive all of that, which has been going on.
That's right.
All right. So getting back to the games, moving to the Saturday slate, we have Kentucky taking on Ball State. You know what? Ball State, tough program, but they're not tough enough to beat Kentucky. Give me Kentucky.
All right, Kentucky. I'm with you on that, man. Kentucky.
All right. Another good game is Fresno State team out of Cali, who oftentimes can surprise a lot of teams. They play really good ball, play strong ball, the consistent sound fundamentals. They're coming in to take on a team from the Big Ten that has been down a little bit, and it again is trying to be a resurging program. Their problem last year was quarterback play. So if they get the quarterback play correct, I'm going to take Purdue to beat Fresno State.
Well, we both know last year I was just faithful with Fresno State.
Makers.
This year, for what I've seen, is some things went on with Fresno State in the
Boilermakers.
offseason. So I'm gonna have to go with the Purdue Boilermakers, man, out the gate. Maybe they'll show me something down the road.
All right, cool. Here we go. Moving on to the next game, we got none other than Boomer Sooner. The team out of Oklahoma is playing against Arkansas State. So now with that, I'm going with none other than Boomer Sooner because this isn't a real challenge for them. This is a warm-up preseason game that actually happens to be in week 1. This should go down as a scrimmage, but it's actually going to be an official game. Give me Boomer Sooner to go 1-0.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. Boomer Sooner.
All right. And now we come to the game that everybody and their mama, everybody has been looking forward to and anticipating. Part of that is because of all of the social media coverage of none other than prime time. Coach Prime is in the time at 12 noon taking on TCU. And as much as I like Coach Prime and what he's trying to do with the Colorado Buffaloes, for this one time only, one night only, one day only, one game only, the Horned Frogs are going to beat the Buffaloes of Colorado.
That's correct. Go Horned Frogs, baby.
Look, why are you throwing up signs, bro?
Yay.
Now, even though for the next game, even though the masterful coach, Bo Schembechler, Part 2, known as Jim Harbaugh, is suspended. Anybody that knows me knows that when it comes to college football, Florida State is my number 1. And then Big Blue is my number 2. So guess who I'm going for when Michigan plays East Carolina? You can book it. It's Big Blue all day, baby.
Hey, Big Blue.
Hail to
Jim
the
Harbaugh
victors.
has to be on the sideline.
Hail to the victors.
You know
Let's go. Now, moving on from that game, we have Bowling Green taking on Liberty. Now, Liberty was a sleeper that got me a lot of wins over none other than my co-host here on Two Dudes and a Mic, Mr. Henry Sanders. Well, Mr. Henry Sanders, hopefully you've learned some things from your friend's football knowledge and his Notre Dame ability. You already know if Liberty is playing and they're playing against Bowling Green, I'm going to go with the Flames from Liberty to flame on and beat Bowling Green.
Yeah, I have Liberty. I went with Liberty, man.
You learned something, I see. So now moving on, next game, Louisiana Tech gave me a win last week over this guy who thought
that one win.
Who thought that Florida International was actually going to do something, and they did. They took a hot L. And so now this Louisiana Tech is taking on a team that's auditioning and trying to get into the ACC. None other. Did you hear what I just said? None other than SMU. And I'm going to go with the Mustangs of SMU, who are on a death penalty, but they've been revived, and they're alive.
Yes, they have. Yeah, I went with SMU, man. SMU.
All right, next we have, I don't even know if this school is a FCS school. They could be a Division II school, might be a
Yeah.
Division III school. Really, I'm just teasing. But LIU Post is taking on Ohio. Ohio, who's coming off a loss from last week to San Diego State, comes home to the state of Ohio, and this is going to be a win. So where they're going to go one
Oh,
and
this is a win for
they're going to
Ohio.
give me another win.
It's gonna be a blowout. This Ohio.
Now, we got another toss up, pick 'em 50-50, flip the coin game when Northern Illinois travels to Boston College. But because my favorite team is in the ACC, I do have a little ACC loyalty. So I'm going to go with them Boston College boys.
Oh yeah. Oh, now we lost to the ACC. But yeah, Boston College, my man. You should have been with the U earlier, but yeah. All right. We'll go with Boston College. I'm with you on that.
I don't think Miami's done anything since moving to the ACC. I'm going to leave that alone. I don't think they have a championship.
Might be their year this year. I'm hoping anyway.
What?
You
Yo.
never know, man.
No, I know on that. Ain't happening. All right. So we can get out of that because y'all gonna find out from week to week. I don't spend too much time talking about no Hurricanes. We'll talk about this this Iowa against Utah State game. Now, Iowa always has a tough defense. Last year they had some offensive struggles. Hopefully they've worked those things out in the offense.
Hopefully work that out.
The defense. But even if they don't have a strong offense in this game, they have enough to beat Utah State. So give me Iowa.
All right, I'm with you on that. Give me Iowa, Hawkeyes.
All right. And then we got an ACC versus SEC matchup. Ooh, This is really testing me. But the truth of the matter is, even though I like the ACC and I support the ACC more than I support the SEC, I'm going to have to go with none other than Rocky Top, Tennessee to beat UVA, them Cavaliers of Virginia. Give me Rocky Top. We're going to hear a whole lot of Rocky Top, Tennessee in this one.
Yes. Indy, I'll go with you on that one.
All right, cool. Next, we have Western Carolina FCS school taking on SEC middle of the road team in the Arkansas Razorbacks. Who you got, Henry?
I'm going with Arkansas Razorbacks, man. Arkansas.
Okay, definitely Arkansas, always a strong team, and usually always at the beginning of the season, they show themselves well. They kind of deaden out and sputter out once they get into, of course, the SEC slate. But you can count it. I'm going with Arkansas as well. Let's go. Woo Pig Suey. Now, next we're moving along, and we got Robert Morris College taking on the Air Force Academy. And all I know is this: it's going to be bombs away, whether it's from
bombs away,
F-16, F-14, anything that flies is going to bomb Robert Morris. Give me the Air Force Academy.
Yes, Air Force all day. I'm with you on that.
All right. And then after that game, now we have Northern Iowa taking on Iowa State. Not too much to say. It's going to be a cyclone known as Iowa State beating Northern Iowa. Give me
a cyclone. Doing hurricane season. Give me those cyclones, man.
Come on in here. Now, Mercer, who beat Northern Alabama last week, is traveling and is
that was disappointing.
Well, I'm just saying that was a loss for you. It was a loss for me too, but oh well. But it didn't affect me like it affected you. But anyway, Mercer is now going to travel down to the state of Mississippi, and they ain't taking on Mississippi State. They're not going to play Jackson State, but they're going to take on the Rebels of Ole Miss. And oh my goodness, Ole Miss is going to give them a rebel of a whooping.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
And next we have another team that shocked me on last week, and is definitely in the way that they played. I'm going to start probably being confident in their program after the showing that they had, and that's Jacksonville State. The way that they beat UTEP. Which, I mean, not to say that UTEP is a great program, but I thought that they were good enough to beat a Jacksonville State.
Good enough to win,
into Conference USA. So with that, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville State to beat Eastern Tennessee State, which is still an FCS school, and so yeah, give me Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I went with Jacksonville State, but man, I believe that they have a lot of will, a lot of talent that's being underrated because of where they're at. But I believe they can pull this one out as well.
Okay, and next we're going to the MAC conference, where we're going to see Akron, Ohio, the home of that dude, LeBrick, LeBaby, LaCry,
LaCroix, LaFleur.
that guy, LaFlop, LaLoser, James, taking on Temple. Who you got in that game?
Woo, man. I'm going with Temple. I'm gonna go with Temple.
Oh, of course you had to go with the team from Philadelphia. They're not Eagles, but they are Owls. And so
Yeah,
I'm
but
going
they're
to go with
they're a
the
bird
Temple
team out
Owls
of Philly,
to beat
out of
the Akron
Pennsylvania.
Six. Give me Temple.
Oh yes, Temple.
Next, we have a money game. Portland State traveling to Oregon, and my money is on Oregon all day long. Give me the Ducks.
It's gonna look like a basketball game. Another one of those games. Give me Oregon.
They're going to run all over them, pass all over them. It's going to be ugly over there in
Yeah, man.
Oregon. Next, we have UMass, who actually had a strong showing in beating New Mexico State last week. They now are
Right.
to SEC former powerhouse Auburn, that's trying to have a resurgence, has a new coach in Hugh Freeze. He's trying to turn this thing around. I can't wait to see what Auburn looks like, but I believe that no matter what, Auburn is always going to have more talent than a UMass school. So give me Auburn, just simply off.
Yeah, man. War Eagles. Come on.
And UMass, they going to be Minutemen because they ain't going to last a minute.
They ain't gonna last a minute. War Eagle, come on.
Next, we have Tennessee State, HBCU, Eddie George. But Eddie George don't have the talent that he used to have, like when he played for Ohio State. And so he's traveling and going to play Notre Dame. And so the Fighting Irish are going to give them the fight of their life, and they're going to brawl them into oblivion. So give me the Irish.
Yep, Fighting Irish. I'm with you on that. That's just not going to. That's not going to end pretty well. I'll tell you that now. That's not going to end well.
Somebody was going to be crying for mercy. I know that much.
Yes,
Next we have local school here in the state of South Carolina, Wofford, traveling up to the University of Pittsburgh, and me being from the great state of Pennsylvania, even though I'm from the east side, not the west side, I do believe that the west side of the state, which is Pittsburgh, is going to crush Wofford, and they're going to give them the check and say, thank you for allowing us to railroad you.
Thank you. Another money game. Go with Pitt. I'm with Pitt.
I know that's right. Now, and then we go right down the road to the Battle of Maryland, even though it's not a great big battle. We got Towson taking on University of Maryland, former ACC, now Big Ten school, of course, has been a Big Ten school for a while. Haven't really done anything in the Big Ten. They probably should have stayed in the ACC, but I understand that Big Ten money is really good. But guess what? You're going to get your money from Towson because you're going to win that game. You're going to give them a check, and then you're going to beat them, and then you're going to start Big Ten play, and you're going to get beat. So enjoy the beat.
Right.
I'm going with the Terrapins.
Terrapins. I'm with you, Terrapins, man.
And now we have South Florida taking on Western Kentucky. And many would think that I would go with the Florida team. But out of all the Florida teams, South Florida is the worst of the Florida teams. And Western Kentucky, them Hilltoppers, are going to be on top of the hill when they beat South Florida.
I'm going to give them a shot. I'm going to give the Bulls a shot. I'm going with USF.
Well, good for you.
Give them a shot.
Next, we have Rice in Texas. We already know what it is. It's the Longhorns of Texas. We're going to actually get to see both quarterbacks. We're actually going to get to see Manning's debut because the game's going to be over before halftime.
Before halftime, correct.
And then, of course, we have that team that plays my Big Blue at the end of the season in the game. They're going to be taking on Indiana. And Ryan Day has finally decided at least who's going to start the game, but he still does not know who his quarterback for the season is going to be. I know what he said.
Right.
He didn't sound convincing, but Ohio State has enough to beat an Indiana team. So give me Buckeyes.
Yeah, Buckeyes, man. Buckeyes.
And then we have Gardner-Webb and App State. I'm going with App State. App State's just a good, strong
App
program.
State.
And then we move to Eastern Kentucky and Cincinnati. Again, another money game, Cincy all night.
Cincy, you know it, Bearcats.
Then we have, the Big Ten always likes to take on the MAC to start off the year, and so we have Buffalo taking on the Badgers of Wisconsin. Give me the Badgers to win that game.
That's right, the Badgers, my man.
And
Gotta go with
now,
the Badgers.
and now in a game that I think is going to be good, just because this team always plays well, and that's Boise State. Boise State is going to be taking on the Huskies of Washington. Now, I believe it's going to be a good game because Boise State just creates a whole lot of matchup problems for any team that they play because they just play so
Yeah,
fundamentally.
that is
sound.
correct.
But the reality is they're going to get outlasted because Washington has a great quarterback. So give
They
me
do.
the Huskies to beat that team that plays on the blue turf in Boise State.
Yes. I'm going with Boise State. Let's just see what happens, man. I gotta have a couple games in here, and we're real opposite. I'm looking for Boise State. See what the Broncos do.
You could have went with something better than that, but okay.
Yeah.
You just give me games. I love it. I love it. All right. So next we have Southeast Louisiana taking on Mississippi State. Mississippi State goes to 1-0 on the season.
Yes, we want to know.
And then we travel. Then we're going to travel to New York. New York.
New York.
Where dreams are made of. And with the bright lights. But we're not going to the Empire City. We're actually going to Syracuse, New York to watch Syracuse take on Colgate. And just give me the orange. The orange of Syracuse are going to run all over Colgate. Colgate, smart, not quite as athletic, but they are smart over there at Colgate. But they're not smart enough to beat the Orangemen of Syracuse. Give me Syracuse.
That's right. Give me the Orangemen. I'm with you on that. Give me the Orangemen.
Next we have the other team, third team that's trying to possibly get voted into the ACC, and that is the University of California, Berkeley.
Right.
Those gentlemen, they're very smart at that school, but they also have a whole lot of debt. And so with that debt, they're going to play a money game against North Texas. Did you see what I just did there? They're playing a money game against North Texas. And I'm going to take North Texas to beat California.
Ooh, I have to go with North Texas. I have to. I don't know much about Berkeley. I'm going with North Texas.
You don't know much about Berkeley that's in the Pac-12? Are you kidding me?
How their preseason went, man. So I'm just looking for North Texas just to drive Cal into the ground, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to make sure that
I can't do it.
You tell Henry to do his homework.
And I can't do Pac-12.
Tell him to do his homework.
Often. I'm not a Pac-12 guy, so
there
you go.
You know, we used to be classmates, and every now and then I'd have to go across the hallway and say, "Hey, Henry, have you done your homework?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to have to do that same thing almost 30
years later.
Get a couple into it. Hey, Henry, do your homework.
Yeah, but I still pass some classes, though. We'll be good.
So here we go. Right. Here we go. Next, we have Bryant taking on UNLV. It's the Running Rebels all day long.
You
Bryant
know it, man. That's an easy pick.
And then we have, now this is a toss-up, 50-50, toss of the coin game here, and the Citadel taking on Georgia State. I mean, not Georgia State, but Georgia Southern. I'm going with Georgia Southern with the new offensive attack because they have a new coach, and the former coach there at USC has taken over, and I can't wait to see what the Georgia Southern Eagles look like. They're gonna fly high.
Oh, I'm anticipating that matchup. I'm going with Georgia Southern.
Cool. Next, we have Albany, another team out of New York, taking on Marshall as they will travel to West Virginia to take on Marshall. And I'm going to go with Marshall, the Thundering Herd, to win this game.
Yes, I'm with Marshall, my man.
All right. And next, we're going to another school that I had to enlighten my dear friend Henry on, and that is none other than James Madison University, a
Come
former
on with it.
FCS school that used to dominate on the FCS level and has now moved up to the FBS level and has shown that they belong. And they're going to continue to show that they belong as they take on Bucknell and take all of the buck out of the nail and win the game. Give me James Madison.
I'm with you on that one. James Madison. I'm
All
gonna
right.
jump on the wagon this first week.
And then next, we find the team out of Orangeburg that played on national television last week. And we all found out that the South Carolina State Bulldogs have not been drinking their milk. And not only have they not been drinking their milk, they have not been getting enough protein in their diet as they got pushed all around the field by the Tigers of Jackson State. And
Hey,
I just
thought
need
that was
everybody
funny.
to know that South Carolina State is going to travel and they're going to hit up 26 to hit 77 to make their way into Charlotte, North Carolina, to where they're
Yes,
going to
they
play
are.
the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Those 49ers of North Carolina, Charlotte. And ladies and gentlemen, I need you to know this is not a spoiler alert. This is not a news flash, but the
No.
reality is University of North Carolina, Charlotte is going to do worse than what Jackson State did to
Yes,
the
Lord.
Bulldogs of South Carolina State. And Buddy Pugh, on your retirement tour, it is not going well because you, my friend, are going to be 0-2 after this week. Give me
Yes, right.
UNC Charlotte in a landslide.
Landslide, man. Landslide. Give me the 49ers.
Next, we have Florida Atlantic taking on Monmouth. This is an easy game. It's a money game. Florida Atlantic all day.
Florida Atlantic.
And then we have another money game. It is the two-time, back-to-back defending national champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, who
Come
do
on.
not for one time have Stetson Bennett. They will be starting a new quarterback this year. They are going to have a new defensive line this year. They're going to have new linebackers this year. They're going to have new defensive backs this year. They're going to have some new receivers this year. They're going to have a whole lot of new pieces this year, but they still have the same coach in Kirby Smart. And in Kirby, we trust. And so this game is going to be a tune-up game of all the new pieces so that we can see how well they're gelling together. Give me Georgia, because Georgia.
Come on, give me them Bulldogs. Now I'll vote for those Bulldogs.
You say you'll go with those Bulldogs.
Yeah, I went there.
All right, so Henry, next we have Nevada against USC. Go ahead and give me your thoughts, man.
Nevada and USC? Come on. I don't come on, it's USC, man. It's USC, it's the Trojans. Come on. I'm just gonna simply say USC Trojans, man. I mean, come on. Come on. They're gonna represent what's left of the Pac-12. Oh yeah, I went there.
I got 2 words for you. Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, my
Give
man.
me USC.
Yeah, man.
All right. So next we have coming off a loss, Florida International taking on Maine. Now, unlike when they played Louisiana Tech, Florida International will win this game. Give me Florida International.
Florida International.
All right. Now we have the Cowboys, not Dallas, but the Cowboys of Oklahoma State taking on Central Arkansas. Again, it's going to be a tune-up game for Oklahoma State for later on in the season. Give me Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, my man.
All right, Henry. So I need to know who you think is going to win this game. We have another HBCU team in Alabama A&M taking on Vanderbilt. What you got, man?
Hey, Alabama A&M is a very talented team in the past, but Vanderbilt, they've shown that they have been relatively consistent. So even I know you want to holler swag, and
the swag ain't whack.
It's not. But can they beat Vanderbilt? I'm going with Vanderbilt. Yeah. Vanderbilt, my man.
As much as I love my HBCUs and I like SWAC football, I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt as well because Vanderbilt looked good again in that Hawaii game. And
Yes,
they're
they
good enough
did.
to beat a strong Alabama A&M team. Alabama A&M
Right.
should compete very well in the SWAC this year, but you taking on even though it's the lower end of the SEC, it's still SEC. It's just a different brand
It's
of
still
football.
SEC.
And so it's Vandy all day.
Come on.
And so staying with the SWAC that ain't whack. We got Alcorn State taking on Southern Miss. Who you got?
Ooh. 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 Give me Alcorn State. Give me Alcorn State. I'll take that. Yeah.
On that, I had to sip some water because I got thirsty. So,
Oh, don't get thirsty on me now.
with that, bruh, as much
Come
as I
on
love
with
my HBCUs, Alcorn State is going to be served a hot L from Southern Miss. It just is what it is. Southern Miss is going to win. But there's still hope. We got some more HBCUs coming down the line. Maybe I'll
Yes, we do.
and pick one besides North Carolina A&T before this is all done with. But
all done
next
with.
we have Army taking on Louisiana Monroe. I'm going with Army and that vaunted wishbone, 3 yards and a cloud of dust offense that they have to just keep churning and really put it to Louisiana Monroe.
I got a guy, believe it or not, that I do physical therapy with that actually goes to Army. And I hate to say I got inside information. So I'm gonna go with you with Louisiana Monroe. I'm going with them.
This man got insider trading information on Army, but we're gonna see what happens.
We're gonna see what happens.
Look,
the one offensive lineman will not be playing this week.
Hey, his therapist is mad because they got dishonorably discharged. But anyway, let's go ahead.
Oh God, here you go.
Next, we have Bethune-Cookman out of the SWAC that ain't whack, taking on the Memphis Tigers. Memphis is strong, man, and I got to go with Memphis beating Bethune-Cookman because they couldn't even get settled on who their coach was going to be. And after what they did with Ed Reed, I hope that they lose every game.
Right, I'm with you.
All right, next we have another money game. Kansas State in a tune-up game is going to take on Southeast Missouri State. Give me Kansas State. After that, we got Stephen F. Austin taking on Troy. This is a toss 'em up, flip 'em game, but I'm going to go with Troy.
Yeah, Troy.
Now we have now we travel to Texas, and we're going to look at the Aggies of A&M, where Jimbo, you are not a head coach Fisher.
Yeah, that's not one of your favorite guys there, my man.
Who is on the coaching hot seat because A&M finally is coming to the realization of what I've known all along is that Jimbo, you are not a head coach.
Are not a head coach. Come on, talk to me.
But even though you're not a head coach, you have enough talent to beat New Mexico. So the Aggies over New Mexico.
The Aggies over New Mexico. That's right.
But
again, they're going to win in spite of.
You heard it here first. Jimbo Fisher is not a head coach.
That's right.
So next
I'm with you on that one.
Huh?
So I'm with you on that one. He is not a head coach.
Next, we have another team that I brought revelation to for my friend Henry Sanders. The University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners are going to be taking on the Houston Cougars. And this is I'm excited about this game.
I know you are.
That this is going to be a good game. The thing is, though, in this game, usually I would go with the Roadrunners. But for whatever reason, I'm just leaning to the Cougars of Houston.
I have to,
man. And so I'm going to stay over there on the Houston side, but I'm going to hope that the Roadrunners mess up my pick. But I'm going to go with Cougars. I'm going to go with the Cougars. I am. I believe the Cougars are going to win, but I hope that the Roadrunners prove me wrong.
Prove you wrong. You want them to prove you wrong this week.
I want them to prove me wrong this week. I want them to prove me wrong this week.
I feel you, but I'm going with the same team, my man. Same one.
You going with the Cougars?
Oh yes, definitely going with the Cougars. Yeah, I give the Cougars to
I'm
win
trying to
hands
tell you,
down.
man, this game is a toss up for me.
Yeah,
I really flipped the coin on it. That's why I'm going with the Cougars because I flipped the
yeah.
coin. Landed on
Well,
the
out the
Cougars.
gate, I was going with Houston.
Mm,
Out the gate.
okay. All right. So staying in the state of Texas, we got the Baylor Bears taking on the Texas State Bobcats, and we already know that even though Texas State, they play tough football. They do.
Yes,
And they'll try to make it competitive, but at the end of the day, Baylor is going to win this game. Give me Baylor.
Baylor will win that game.
All right.
Golden Bears.
So then we move on to Washington State playing a warm-up game against Colorado State, but it actually could be a Washington State audition to go to the Mountain West Conference. They're
Right.
one of those Pac-12 teams that ain't gonna have a home after this season.
Come on with it.
They're
These
one,
homeless football
they,
teams. That's
they
sad.
they are the Final Four. So they're taking on
He went there.
so, so they're taking on Colorado State. Give me Washington State to beat
Yes,
Colorado
Washington
State
State, man.
in a
Washington
possible conference audition.
State. Yeah, man. This is an audition.
You have
That's the
Washington
sad
State
state
as
of
well.
affairs.
You went
Yes,
Washington State.
Washington
All
State
right.
as well.
All right. Next, we have another team from the beautiful and wonderful state of Pennsylvania, the Nittany Lions of Penn State in Happy Valley. That's why you see me smiling.
Come
Happy
on.
Valley. And West Virginia Mountaineers are going to come traverse the mountains into Happy Valley, but they're going to find out that there's a shadow of death in the
Come
Happy
on.
Valley called a Nittany Lion.
The
And when they
Nittany
come
Lions.
into the Happy Valley and get eaten by the Nittany Lions, you already know what it is. Penn
You
State
know what it is.
all day, baby,
Penn
beating the Mountaineers.
State. Hey, I'm with you on that. Penn
They ain't
State.
walking through this valley. They're going to come in
Oh,
the valley
no.
and die.
Die. A painful death.
There you go. Now, this right here, this is one of the games that I wanted to get to on Saturday. This, to me, for the Saturday slate, is the game of games.
Okay, come on.
It's the battle of the border. It's North Carolina, South Carolina. It's Chapel Hill against Columbia.
Come on.
It's Tar Heels, Gamecocks. It's bragging rights for both of these states. It's before there was a thought of Clemson. There was a Tar Heel and there was a Gamecock. And they have some history with one another. They haven't played one another in a very long time, ever since South Carolina decided to leave the ACC and go to the SEC. But ladies and gentlemen, we are finally getting an opportunity for this rivalry to possibly be renewed. And so the Gamecocks and the Tar Heels are taking it on. And so I have to go to my friend, my goodness, to deal with the first pick on who's winning this game, because he is a native South Carolina. He is from the Kakalaki. So go ahead and tell us what you got. And look, don't do like Petey Pablo and take your shirt off and wave it like a helicopter. Amen.
Don't make me, man. Look, I'll take this shirt off and wave it like a helicopter.
So who you got?
With our quarterback and the confidence that he has, I'm gonna ride off his confidence, and I'm going with of no other than the South Carolina Gamecocks, the USC, for as I'm concerned. Come on.
Well, again, this is a toss-up game, and as somebody who has recently lived now in South Carolina for some years, I do like the Gamecocks, and I really like Shane Beamer, and because I love Beamer ball.
Yes, Beamer ball.
The problem is that I just believe the Tar Heels have the better quarterback. And because of that, I believe that the Tar Heels are going to upset. Yes, did you hear what I just said? They're going to upset South Carolina. even though UNC is the higher ranked team, I think that South Carolina has the better talent. But because of the quarterback play,
Uh-huh.
I'm picking UNC to beat USC.
All right, we'll see. That game will be hosted at Bank of America Stadium where my other team plays. So we'll see what happens.
Now, I will say this though, bro. I loved your wordplay just a minute ago, but until you went to that whole Carolina piece, your wordplay was great. But anyway, we got Texas Tech taking on Wyoming. I'm going with Texas Tech to beat one of your favorite picks from last year, Wyoming.
I'm going with Wyoming. You know that.
Yes,
Go Cowboys.
unfortunately.
The only time you hear me say "Go Cowboys."
All right, so next we have Toledo taking on Illinois. Who you got?
Oh man, that's a toss up to me. That is. So I chose to go with
Are you serious?
Toledo.
Did you say a toss up?
Yeah, it's a toss up to me.
A toss up on an Illinois Brett Bielema coach team? Well, that's Illinois all day long. Give me the Fighting Illini.
Toledo. I'm going with Toledo.
Man, Toledo in trouble, man. I can't believe
we're gonna see.
Yeah,
we with Toledo. We'll see.
Whew, okay. Look, you should have played that music. Upset alert, upset alert.
Upset alert. Oh, I'll play it next time.
So next we have another money game. Middle Tennessee State traveling to Alabama. Alabama is, of course, they're like Georgia, a whole lot of new pieces this season. But the one constant is St. Nick. And I trust that St. Nick is going to have these jokers ready to play. So give me Alabama.
Alabama, roll tide. Come on.
And now we have Virginia. Old Dominion taking on Virginia Tech. Give me the Hokies of Virginia Tech.
Wait a minute. I think that's one of my upset picks. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Did I circle Old Dominion? Let us see. No, I did not. I went with Virginia Tech. Man, no, I'm not gonna go for Old Dominion.
Hey, wait a minute though. Last year, Old Dominion upset Virginia Tech. This is a rematch game.
Oh, I know. Well, Virginia Tech, hopefully they're ready, man. Oh, they're ready. They lose back-to-back years with Old Dominion. I don't think I ever will pick Virginia Tech again.
Okay, well,
I don't care. No.
We're going to see. All right, so next we have this, to me, even though Tulane is ranked in the top 25, to me, this is a coin flip game as they take on South Alabama. But I just believe in the coaching staff of Tulane. That's the difference in this game. To me, from a talent standpoint, it's pretty close, but Tulane has the better coaching. So give me Tulane, the Green Wave, to go ahead
Tulane
and beat the Jaguars of Southern Alabama.
Shoot, my baby brother's an alumni of Tulane. I'm going with Tulane.
Gotcha. Loyalty.
Come on.
Next, we have the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana taking on Northwestern State. Give me the Raging Cajuns with a
Raging Cajuns. Yes, sir. Get the gumbo ready.
Next, we have New Mexico State, who came off a surprising loss last week.
Surprising loss.
I knew I shouldn't have picked them last week, but anyway.
Right.
Taking on Western Illinois. The sad thing is that I'm going to pick them again. And hopefully they don't disappoint me this week when they play Western
I'm not going to lie.
Actually,
I made that same potential mistake again this week myself. So, yeah, come on.
Now,
let's move on, man.
Now, to all of our viewers, you're going to find that I don't pick New Mexico State very much because they stink. But every time, they should be the team that stinks worse than them. But sometimes
worse than they do.
They just don't. Right. But hopefully, this will be the week that they don't stink worse than the other stinky team. Because this game was a toilet bowl game. So next we have Incarnate Word taking on UTEP. UTEP got embarrassed by Jacksonville State. I think that they bounced back and beat Incarnate Word. Even though Incarnate Word, they throw the ball all over the field. So
they throw the ball now.
if their defensive backfield at UTEP is slack, it might be Incarnate Word winning that game. But I'm gonna go with UTEP.
I'm going with UTEP as well in that one, man.
Then we got a battle of Arizona, Northern Arizona taking on the Arizona Wildcats. The Arizona Wildcats are strong. This is their last year in the Pac-12, and I think they want to be competitive. And you can't be competitive if you lose to Northern Arizona. So give me the Arizona Wildcats to win that game.
Give them the Wildcats.
And then we have a new team to the Big 12, BYU. The Storm and Mormons are going to be taking on Sam Houston. And I'm going to go with the Storm and Mormons of BYU to win that game.
Yes. BYU is no joke. That's a team, man, that always had a solid offense and even better defense. So I'm going with BYU, man.
Okay, cool. So then next we have Idaho State taking on San Diego State, the Aztecs, who are right now 1-0. They're 1-0, and they're going to go to 2-0 here on two leagues and a mic. It is San Diego State beating Idaho State. You can book it. I already know who.
Oh yeah, you know who I'm going for? Aztecs all day.
Now, in a game that I'm going to enjoy seeing, I'm going to enjoy watching this game. Even though I already know the outcome of the game, I'm going to enjoy watching the game because the reason I'm going to enjoy watching the game is because I really enjoyed watching how Coastal Carolina is slowly actually starting to become a good football program. So, and I love the journey that we've been able to see with Coastal Carolina.
Right.
But the Chancellors of Coastal Carolina are taking on entirely too much to chew. And they're about to choke when they try to bite some Bruins because UCLA is going to wear them out.
Yeah.
Give me UCLA
I've gone close to Coastal Carolina myself, but like you said, this is going to be too much for them to handle. So give me UCLA.
All right, cool. So that's the Saturday slate. Now we're going to the Lord's Day. We're going to the Lord's Day of Sunday, which is usually reserved for NFL football. But instead, we're going to stay with the NCAA slate of Sunday. And boy, do we have a game on Sunday night.
Yes, we do.
But we're not going to talk about that game yet. First, we're going to deal with the afternoon game of Northwestern going and taking on the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers with Greg Schiano. And I'm going to tell you this, Greg Schiano is going to have them boys ready, and Rutgers is actually going to beat Northwestern, who lost their coach and has been losing players as well. So give me Rutgers to run over Northwestern.
Yeah, you would think this is like a little league team playing against a big league, major league team here. So I'm going with Rutgers all day, man. Northwestern is not. They're like a shell of their former selves now.
Absolutely. And so then we move to 3:30 on the Lord's Day.
On the
At 3:30, we're going to see Oregon State Cowboys with DJ, former Clemson QB, making his Oregon State debut against San Jose State, who got blown the heck out by USC.
That's
and
right.
Again, Oregon State is going to go into San Jose, and DJ is going to put on a show. And the Beavers of Oregon State are going to take a chomp out of the Trojans of San Jose State.
That's correct. That's correct. My man went off and went to Oregon, to the West Coast, and to Oregon State, and I hope the best for them, and I believe the best is going to happen right here. They're going to destroy San Jose State, man.
Yes, sir.
I believe they're going to be a whooping here.
Yes, sir. And so now, it is the game of games on the Lord's Day.
Oh, I know you're excited.
And since it's the game of games on the Lord's Day.
On the Lord's Day.
At 7:30.
Somebody ain't preaching long this coming Sunday.
PM. Oh, my Lord. On Labor Day weekend.
Come on.
My Noles of Florida State are going to be taking on those LSU Tigers.
Come on.
Lord have mercy. And some would say lions, tigers, and bears.
And bear.
Oh my. But when you are a Seminole, you don't get scared of no tigers. You see
That's right.
tigers as food.
It's
And
food.
so as the
Come on.
tigers come creeping in to the state of Florida, in downtown Orlando, there's
Come
some
on.
Seminoles that have already sharpened their arrows and their spears and mounted
Come on.
up on their horses and put their
Yes.
war paint on, and it's gonna be a war chant. I'll need to
Yes.
know if you can hear the
Can you hear
oh, oh,
it?
oh. Can you hear it? Oh,
Ooh, I'm with you on that one.
oh. Can you hear it? Oh,
Yes. So we got
oh.
a shadow of a doubt. My man's going with
Yes, you
FSU.
already know it's Florida State, Florida State, Florida State, Florida State in a win again against none other than them Tigers. Let's go. Uh-oh. Henry, you done dropped off. Well, I already know that most likely Henry's probably going to pick none other than LSU just to be that guy because he is an SEC fan. But we already know it's going to be Florida State, Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. And so then we get into Monday, Labor Day, all right, where we get to rest from the labor and enjoy barbecues and friends and family and everything else. And while you get the opportunity to do that, you're going to get to see Clemson and Duke, another battle of the border in the ACC. North Carolina against South Carolina. But ladies and gentlemen, Dabo has a point to prove this year. And so Clemson Tigers are going to beat the Duke Blue Devils. You can book it here. And I already know because Henry is from South Carolina that he's going to pick Clemson. So again, we thank each and every one of you for tuning in to Two Dudes and a Mic College Pick'em. Let's see which one of us has more wins and losses after week one. And as you've watched, hopefully you've made your picks as well. And we can even compare. And as a matter of fact, we ask that you put your record the following week when we get to week two in the comment line. And if you've enjoyed this show, take the time to share and of course enjoy. Again, it's Two Dudes, One Mic, giving you the best in sports talk and as well entertainment and some laughs. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you probably in the next couple of days as we pick the high school games here in the state of South Carolina. Be blessed.